Y'all know how everyone's been dragging Jay Z, calling him a manipulator and accusing him of pushing Beyoncé into some shady business, right? Well, hold on to your wigs because 50 Cent is here to flip that narrative upside down. He's saying we've got it all twisted, and not only is Beyoncé just as messy as Jay Z, but she might even be worse. And you know 50, he came with receipts. But wait, it gets juicier. 50's out here claiming that Beyoncé was allegedly involved in Diddy's infamous freak-offs and is now trying to make Jay Z take the fall for all their drama. Talk about throwing your man under the bus. Chilly, there's so much to unpack here, I feel like I'm moving into a new apartment. Let's rewind a bit for those of you who've been living under a rock. Rumors have been swirling that Beyoncé is seriously considering packing her Louis Vuitton bags and divorcing Jay Z. This tea has been brewing for a minute, and folks thought Queen Bey was finally fed up with Jay's alleged manipulation. Now let's talk about that age gap, because it's giving me more creeps than a haunted house on Halloween. Beyoncé spilled in an interview that she was just 18 when they first met, and 19 when they started dating. But hold up, it gets worse. In a 2007 interview, Jay Z said he'd met Bey 10 years ago, which would make her 16 or maybe even 15 at the time. Jay Z in his late 20s pursuing a teenage Beyoncé? That's shadier than a palm tree, honey. Because of all this, people have been viewing Beyoncé as the victim, often leaving her out of the conversation when Jay Z gets dragged for his shady antics. Even when the power couple is under fire for supposedly blackballing other artists, the focus usually shifts to Jay Z while Beyoncé escapes the spotlight. I mean, she is the media's darling after all. But 50 Cent is here to shake things up like a bartender on a Friday night. He's dropping some insider info, and let's just say his thoughts on Beyoncé aren't exactly sugar, spice, and everything nice. Remember when blogger Storm Monroe first shared the news of the divorce a couple of months back? Everyone was rallying behind Beyoncé, praising her for taking a stand. But now, with 50's comments, it looks like we might have been barking up the wrong tree all along.
What I've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they together, but they living separate. And part of the reason why they have already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood, is because Jay Z is up next to be exposed. And it's only so much of these stories that Jay Z can, he can pay off or he can block. He won't be able to stop this. And she knows it, and he knows it too. As far as who's gonna be the breakout victim / story, I don't know. I might have to answer some. I don't know. But I'm just letting you know that once that comes out and Jay Z is exposed for his nefarious past, you're gonna see Beyonce. Okay, and she may or may not do an interview, but their publicist is gonna release something. It's gonna say, oh, the Carters have been separated for some time. They built this beautiful life.
Fans were living for the idea of Beyoncé leaving Jay Z, especially since Storm hinted that Jay was about to get exposed big time. And honey, I'm not talking about a little bit of gossip here. I mean something huge like Diddy level exposure for some wild things he's allegedly done in the past. But get this, Storm wasn't even the first one to spill this tea about Jay Z facing the music. After Cassie's explosive lawsuit that took Diddy to task over some truly horrific stuff, Jaguar Wright stepped in to say Jay Z was next in line to be exposed. She even claimed that the only reason Jay Z hadn't been exposed yet was that he's just smarter and more careful than Diddy, but apparently his luck had run out.
He's patient. He's not sloppy. He been lining up people he calls friends and stepping to the side while they get hit by the guillotine for 30 years.
You know what they say? Birds of a feather flock together. And it looks like that might just be the case with Jay Z and Diddy. The streets are saying that Jay Z might be just as shady as Diddy, and considering all the allegations against Diddy, folks were low-key relieved to hear Beyoncé was thinking about divorce. Now let's not forget about Jay Z's cheating ways. I'm not just talking about that infamous Becky with the good hair drama. Reports say Jay started cheating just a few months after they got together, and one of the first names that popped up was singer Charlie Baltimore. For those who might not be up to speed, Charlie Baltimore used to date the legendary Notorious B.I.G. back in the day. Reports say she eventually got tired of being the other woman while Jay Z flaunted his relationship with Beyoncé, so she decided to cut things off. But Jay Z didn't handle that well at all. He got so jealous when Charlie moved on to another man that he risked going to jail. Remember when he was arrested for stabbing a guy at a club? He claimed the man was illegally distributing bootleg copies of his album. But insiders, including 50 Cent, are calling BS on that whole story. 50 Cent claimed that the real reason for the stabbing was that Jay Z found out Charlie was dating the producer and he couldn't handle it. Like getting mad at your former side piece for moving on while you're dating Beyoncé, that's next level petty. And 50 Cent isn't alone in this. Rapper Cameron backed him up, confirming that the stabbing was all about Charlie.
It wasn't over no money. It wasn't over being righteous. What was it over? A chick? What we don't do is we don't fuck with our homies' ex-bitches.
Bow.
You feel me?
You know who that is now,
I
right?
said bow. Charlie Baltimore.
There you go.
Now let's talk about 50 Cent's beef with Jay Z, because it's spicier than a ghost pepper. It all started back in 1999 when 50 dissed Jay Z in his hit How to Rob. People speculated that he did it for clout, especially since Jay was already a major player in the game while 50 was still on the rise. To be fair, Jay Z wasn't the only target in 50's How to Rob. He went in on a whole lineup of top artists, including Lil Kim, Foxy Brown, Diddy, Missy Elliott, Will Smith, and a bunch of others. In his diss about Jay, 50 rapped, "What Jigga just sold like 4 milli? He has something to live for. Don't want a man putting 4 through that Bentley coupe door." Jay Z, known for holding grudges, eventually clapped back with his own diss track titled It's Hot, Some Like It Hot, where he famously said, "Go against Jigga, your ass is dense, I'm about $1, what the fork is 50 cents? 50 Cent eventually admitted that he was chasing clout when he dissed Jay Z and the other rappers. In an interview with Rolling Stone, 50 Cent said, when he responded, I was complimented. He wouldn't say nothing back to somebody he didn't think was hot. Now here's where Beyoncé comes into the picture. She was not a fan of 50 Cent constantly throwing digs at her man, even though she and Jay Z hadn't started dating when his beef with 50 Cent began. She still took Jay Z's side, and things got so messy that 50 Cent revealed she even tried to fight him. 50 Cent, being 50 Cent, couldn't resist making a joke out of the situation, saying, she was like, and I'm like, wait, what is you doing? That's me and Jay Z stuff. It ain't got nothing to do with you, girl. The thought of Beyoncé wanting to fight 50 Cent over Jay Z is pretty wild, I'm not going to lie. But it kind of explains why 50 is one of the few who sees her for who she really is, and why he believes she's not the victim everyone thinks she is. Not only does 50 believe she's not a victim, but he also argues that she might be worse than Jay Z, suggesting that she's the mastermind behind many of the accusations against him. Remember when her former bodyguard talked about her and Jay Z supposedly blackballing Carrie Hilson's career?
Say and Jay Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against him. Okay, I get the threats, but you have to remember one thing. I know your deepest secrets. I know so much about you and what you've done. I know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people. Beyoncé, how you guys ended Carrie Hilson's career because she said something about you. That's how hateful you guys are. How you step on anybody to stay on.
For some reason, Jay Z ended up catching all the smoke for that, and Beyoncé was left out of the conversation. The bodyguard also claimed that Beyoncé and Jay Z's marriage was nothing but a business merger.
The relationship was a business relationship, financial, to get to the top, to become billionaires. There's no love there. See, what's done in the dark will definitely come in the light. Keep your threats up.
This part isn't exactly shocking, considering you've probably heard all those rumors about how Jay Z and Beyoncé's relationship is more about business than love. But according to 50 Cent, there's a lot more going on. He claims Beyoncé has been sneaky for a long time. He pointed out the situation with Beyoncé's former drummer, Kimberly Thompson, who accused her of some seriously shady behavior. Thompson claimed Beyoncé dabbles in the occult and started a campaign of harassment against her that includes extreme witchcraft, dark magic, and magic spells of sexual molestation. She even claimed Beyoncé murdered her kitten. Now that's some wild allegations.
Kimberly also went live on Instagram to speak on Beyoncé.
For time, this person was casting spells and manipulating me and controlling my job situations, my relationships, all just a very wicked tactic to just keep me down and keep me under some type of control.
At first, people thought the former drummer was just seeking attention, but once she went as far as filing a restraining order against Beyoncé, that's when people started to take notice. Now let's circle back to Jay Z's infidelity. You know how he's been unfaithful to Beyoncé for years while she just seems to tolerate it? Well, according to 50 Cent, she's not merely sitting by. He claims she's been making strategic moves behind the scenes. Remember how Jay Z talked about how he and Beyoncé managed to work through their issues after his infidelity?
You know, for us, we chose to fight for our love, for our family, to give our kids a different outcome. You see, to break that cycle. For black men and women, to see a different outcome, like you were saying. It's not this celebrity couple. We were never a celebrity couple. We were a couple who just happened to be celebrities.
That's beautiful.
Like real people.
Yeah.
50 Cent is claiming that family therapy isn't the only reason Jay Z and Beyoncé were able to mend their relationship. He suggests that there's another tactic at play, Beyoncé allegedly going after Jay Z's side pieces and wreaking havoc on their lives. It's interesting that 50 Cent is bringing this up now, especially since there have been recent reports suggesting Beyoncé might have played a role in destroying Tiara Mari's career. Word on the street is that Tiara was allegedly involved with Jay Z behind the scenes, and Beyoncé was not having it. According to a blind item, Beyoncé allegedly found out about the affair and put her foot down, insisting that Jay Z get rid of Tiara. But apparently that wasn't enough. The blind item suggests Beyoncé decided to ruin Tiara's career as well. This tea gets even hotter when you consider what L.A. Reid, the music executive who managed both Tiara and Rihanna, once revealed. He said Beyoncé influenced him to pay more attention to Rihanna rather than Tiara. It's crazy how these behind-the-scenes dynamics can change everything. But hold on to your wigs because there's more. According to 50 Cent, Jay Z isn't completely off the hook regarding the allegations against him. He claims Jay has allegedly been involved in some seriously shady stuff that's set to be revealed, and that's allegedly the real reason Beyoncé is planning to divorce him. 50 insists that Beyoncé isn't as innocent as many believe, arguing that Jay Z's public show of support for her at this year's Grammys was actually a desperate attempt to win her back and convince her to reconsider the divorce. And y'all know how the streets have been saying that Jay Z was allegedly at Diddy's freak-offs? Well, 50 is now claiming that Beyoncé was allegedly right there all along and that she allegedly directed some of the freak-offs herself. And get this, Diddy supposedly got it all on tape. Fans have been leaving comments saying things like, "She's only leaving because his closet is about to be cleaned out. She knows what's in the closet though. She may even have some items in there." Another fan said, "Beyoncé is complicit in this mess. She knows more than what she is telling." Now, one thing I love about 50 is he tells the truth when exposing someone. They never sue him. Think about it. This situation is a hot mess and 50 is being super bold by spilling this tea. Y'all know that Beyoncé and Jay Z don't like it when people speak about them, but let me know how you feel about this situation in the comments below. And that's the tea for today, folks. Remember, in Hollywood, things aren't always what they seem. Stay tuned for more juicy updates and don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Sophie.